Hey guys, this is Clinton Jeff and today we're checking out the ASICS GEL CUMULUS 21. According to ASICS, these are neutral running shoes designed to cushion and support your feet over runs. They're also meant to be a reliable pair of everyday training shoes. So let's see how good they are. As usual, let's start with design. The ASICS GEL CUMULUS 21 has a similar design to its previous version, the GEL CUMULUS 20, which is probably a good thing because it was already a pretty good looking shoe considering how this classic design is really in style right now. It's a pretty mature, balanced design, and the Cumulus series also includes some of the top tech in running shoes from ASICS, which also includes enough cushioning for runs. The Cumulus series also has its own fan base for people that like neutral everyday training shoes. But honestly, this was my first time trying them out and I was pretty impressed. The first thing I noticed when I took them out of the box was that the Cumulus 21 is a really well-built pair of training shoes. They've got a little bit of a weight to them, so they're not super light, which is not really a surprise because these are not meant to be racing shoes as such. But I'll talk about the weight later on. At the top of the Cumulus 21, there's the Breathable Jacquard mesh, which is pretty appreciated during hot summer runs. Plus, it's also a really nice, flexible mesh, so it's kind of comfortable as well. Speaking of flexibility, the toe box has a lot of space, and I'm saying that as somebody who has pretty wide feet. So the Cumulus 21 fits pretty true to size in my opinion, so you won't have to worry about sizing too much. There's also a stronger overlay over the mesh in some parts of the upper where you need stronger materials. For example, the front of the shoes and the toe caps, and even the eyelets for the laces so that all the mesh doesn't tear because of your toenails or anything poking through. There's also a very prominent ASICS branding on the sides, but this isn't just aesthetic. There's actually a functional role since it helps you secure and tighten the shoes as well. Coming to the collar, is thick but soft, just like the tongue of the shoe as well. They're a bit larger than on most running shoes, but the thicker layers do help with the comfort quite a bit. On the inside, there's also an internal heel counter, which keeps the heel area stiff so that your heel doesn't slip. And this definitely helps with the overall stability of the shoe. Also on the inside of the shoe is an EVA sock liner, which offers a nice amount of cushioning. Overall, the design of the Cumulus 21 is actually really nice. And you have to admit, it definitely looks like an ASICS sneaker for sure. They're available in a variety of colors, so you'll definitely be able to find one that's more your style, or maybe just a subtle black and white version if you prefer. But before we move on to the next section, I should mention that this particular sneaker is the new LITE SHOW version of the Cumulus 21. This sneaker is meant to also be used at night for your evening runs because it has a lot of reflective elements on the sides. If you're an evening runner, you already know how useful a reflective element can be. Alright, let's move on to comfort. I wore the Cumulus 21 for quick morning runs and at the gym for my boxing, crossfit and dance fitness classes, so I could really put them in a whole variety of different situations to test them out. As expected, the shoes are actually really comfortable to jog in, and the excellent cushioning on the sole means you could probably wear them for hours. As you walk in them, you can actually feel how the gel sole compresses under your foot and absorbs all the pressure. And as you start to run, you won't really notice the same kind of soft cushioning, but it's still really comfortable with the forefoot area slightly stiff but nicely cushioned off as well. But as usual, whenever I talk about cushioning, I should point out that the cushioning here is very different from something like Adidas Boost or Nike's Epic React, in terms that the energy return on this cushioning is much lower than with Boost or Nike React. The sole is made from a combination of different cushioning tech. There's the forefoot, which is a bit more stiff. There's also the rear gel cushioning, and then there's also the fly foam propel technology as well. As I mentioned, the gel cushioning is really great at shock absorption, which makes the 21 really comfortable to wear. The fly foam also offers additional cushioning with a tiny bit of energy return to help push you forward as well. Coming to the outsole, there's a thick layer of ASICS high abrasion rubber, or AHAR as they call it. This hopefully means the shoe will last a while and won't get worn out too fast, which is appreciated since this is meant to be a daily training sneaker. The outsole is pretty grippy and I never really felt like they were slippery even on wet surfaces. ASICS also has the impact guidance system and guidance line, which is a groove in the cushioning which runs vertical heel to toe and provides some flexibility, stability and increase in gait efficiency. Or at least that's what their marketing says. All in all, the ASICS Gel Cumulus is built to last with good quality materials and offers about medium to high levels of comfort as an everyday training sneaker. But how is it at running? Let's talk about performance. The ASICS Gel Cumulus 21 is pitched as a pair of running shoes, but also as everyday training shoes, and the exceptional cushioning and support definitely do help. But that being said, I do feel like they're a little bit too heavy to be used for race or long distance running. At least I personally felt like they were a little bit too heavy and maybe a little stiff after a long distance run. I mean, don't get me wrong, this sneaker is perfect for short distance runs, and that cushioning is definitely good, but it does have a sweet spot in terms of distance before it starts to feel a little bit bottom heavy. So yes, short distances, no problem. But these are just not built for long distance running where you'll feel that weight. Instead, the ASICS Gel Nimbus sneaker might actually be a better option for that situation. But for your morning jogs or your everyday training sneakers, these are pretty great. They perform just as expected and you never really feel like you want any more from them. If you're just getting started out with a fitness routine and you're looking for a great all-around fitness sneaker, the Gel Cumulus 21 might just be the best option around. They offer good cushioning, great build quality and solid stability. And I mean, if there's been 20 versions of the sneaker before, there must be some reason people are buying this, right? Alright guys, it's time for the CJ verdict, and here we go. So are the ASICS Gel Cumulus 21s the best everyday sneakers? Well, yes, kinda. The ASICS Gel Cumulus 21 is a slightly tweaked update to a very successful line of neutral everyday workhorse shoes. It's priced well for the amount of tech packed into the shoe, and they're nice enough that you could wear them casually around or at the gym every day, or even on your morning runs. Or with the new LITE SHOW pack, even on your evening runs as well. At the same time, I wouldn't really recommend these for long distance runs because of the stiffness and bottom heavy feeling that you'll eventually get. Like I said, in that situation, I'd rather recommend the ASICS Gel Nimbus instead, which is a much lighter racing and long distance running shoe. Of course, there are other sneakers out there in the same price range that have their own pros and cons. But with the ASICS Gel Cumulus 21, you just have a really great pair of all-around shoes with a complete package overall. If you could only own one pair of running shoes, this is worth considering. Alright guys, so that's what I think about the ASICS Gel Cumulus 21. It's a really great pair of sneakers that I've been using at the gym every day. It really seems like ASICS knows their audience pretty well. As always, if you have any questions about the sneaker, let me know right in the comment section below, or you can ask me right over on Instagram or Twitter at ClintonJeff. And hey, if this video was helpful, don't forget to hit the like button right below, or maybe subscribe because that would be appreciated. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.